Are you a small business owner, a trader, a school owner, a federal civil servant, a Lagos or Edo civil servant, a farmer or a farm supply merchant? Do you need a loan or wish to fix your money for a high yield interest? Talk to us today and get your loan in less than 24 hours. Visit our website on www.lapo-nigeria.org or call us on 0813-984-0230. Email info@lapo-nigeria.org.
Globally, businesses and corporations are faced with challenges that requires fresh thinking on strategy, leadership, and governance to survive. The Anchor is a program designed to help organizations and individuals to be skilled in handling challenges. Join Dr. Osare Emokai, a development economist and a corporate strategist, for this interactive, informative, educative program.
Pleasant day to you, viewers. You are most welcome to this program, The Anchor. We want to quickly introduce the topic of the day. We're still talking on the issue boiling out on security. Security is a big issue in this country. So we want to look at what are the pillars that surrounds security. What are those influencing pillars? 7 of them we mentioned in the previous episode, namely government, family, culture, education, the media. Every of these aspects have their roles to play, and everyone playing their role effectively forms a whole. And for our system, for our country to have that wholesome health, all of this mentioned must key in to ensure that they are playing their part effectively. It's like working as a team. And as we work as a team, you will see us achieving the ultimate goal of saving lives in safety, saving lives with their properties, saving lives, helping to keep that vital information that must be kept and not be passed on to the wrong hands. So on that note, we want to welcome Mr. Paul Caesar Edekobi, now sitting on my right, and also welcome Mr. Eri Obasui Iga-Musoi. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much.
We want to look at the causes of security challenges in the country. What are the causes? I'll start from you, Mr. Paul, and we'll try to see if we can rotate this.
Okay, thank you very much. Causes of security challenges in Nigeria, we have a lot of them, but paramount among them, number one, it starts from the home, and that is where we come up with, proper parental upbringing. Because there's a popular saying that charity begins at home, and if the child is not well trained when growing up, he or she will not inculcate those values, those important values that she or he is supposed to, grow up with as an adult. You can compare that to maybe a child who is an orphan or who doesn't have anybody to take care of them. They grow up in the streets and they believe that whatever they see in the street, they believe that it is the right thing to do. And they grow up with that mentality and end up causing nuisance to society.
Can you just contribute, Mr. Obasui?
Yeah, thank you very much. One of those challenges, good governance and education system. 2, good road. Thirdly, ethics crisis. Those issues also contribute a lot, such like unemployment, also contribute a lot of security challenges in the country.
Okay, I want to take you, you've mentioned several,
Yes.
Unemployment, you mentioned good governance, but I think you should just take on first the issue of unemployment,
Okay.
since that was the last
One that I mentioned.
item or point you mentioned. Issue of unemployment is a major thing here in our country. Can you just expatiate on that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Unemployment is also a very vital role that the government have to look into. Unemployment, a lot of graduates pass out every year. There is no job, there is no infrastructures, there is not even industry. Even the one we have is not being repaired, they are not working. So this also contributes a security threat, because when such graduates is being passed out from schools, where are they going to find themselves working? If the government cannot provide a job, the government cannot provide the electricity that can be able to empower their skills which they have to be able to take care of themselves, and they see somebody that will be able to offer them money, and when they look into it, they will do that. And they will start using them to destroy our economies. They will not be an arm to us. And moreover, such issues now being a security threat to our country.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Obasoyi just mentioned the issue of unemployment. It's very key in our development as a nation. There are several challenges. Can you just mention another one?
Okay, apart from the ones I mentioned before, we also have the issue of porous borders. You find out that our square kilometer area, whatever, I've forgotten how they used to put it. I mean, we have a very wide area, land mass. And when you check out our, our map, you find out that to the east, we are bordered by Cameroon. To the north, both the northeast and the northwest, by Chad and Niger, and then to the west by Benin Republic. Now, I've had the opportunity to, go to some of these border areas, and it is a very long tail from being safe, because you find out that from Cameroon to get into Nigeria by land, there's no water, whatever. Or if you are coming in from Chad to gain access into Nigeria, okay, you may bypass a little of the Lake Chad basin before accessing Nigeria. For the other side, from the northwest, still the same land, normally open desert land, the Sahara Desert. And then from Benin Republic, the same thing. But when you go towards the southern tip of the Benin, Nigeria Republic, that is where you have the Atlantic Ocean, where you can now link into Nigeria with the means of boats or ship. So in my sojourn round, I found out that we do not have any security around our borders. Everywhere is porous, meaning that anybody could just walk in from any country and walk into Nigeria. And the people that are more at risk in this kind of setting are those people living very close to the borders. Like if you go to the southeast, south, that is Cross River State, from Ikom, you can easily walk into Cameroon. From Ikom. In fact, I was taking a stroll with somebody, and the person was like, "Guess where you are now?" I said, "Am I not in Ikom?" He said, "No, this is Cameroon now. We have crossed the border." And I was like, "Really?" And maybe at some intermittent points, there may be some checkpoints. Are you getting it? But how are these checkpoints able to check or able to, watch over that large mass? Let's say, for instance, there may be a checkpoint here. The next checkpoint will be here. In between these two checkpoints, nothing is there. No security there. And the people that are trying to avoid those checkpoints, they are also aware of these facts. that there is no security at some other points. So they won't come through the normal checkpoint. They will go through where they won't be security. It's just like in us at Semeboda here now. If they are bringing something into Lagos, definitely you don't expect them to pass through Agbara and come in, because that is the officially where you have securities that check at each point as you come in. So what they do is they will divert and follow through maybe the Iroko area. Yeah. Even at that point, they have started putting checkpoints there. But then beyond the Iroko, there are still some open forests, open land that people can still bypass and find themselves into the country. So you find out that the whole situation of porosity of the border is very sickening, because we are here crying about security challenges and no measure is being taken to protect us from this. Exactly.
Okay, thank you. I just want to, from your personal experience, when the person you are strolling with mentioned to you, you guess where you are now. Were you checked at all?
We weren't. That's what I'm saying.
And there was no sign of
security, right?
Migration officers.
Exactly, but they have an officially installed this thing, but very far from that particular Ecom area. Are you getting it? So that place is just like the bush part, the abandoned bush part. Maybe they are focused on the main road where vehicles may pass and all that. But this is main real forest.
So people can just stroll into our country and perpetrate their acts.
That is just it.
And that is what is also happening up north. People coming from Niger into the country without being caught. Yes. And possibly that's why we have the influx of people or persons into the country from the north. I want to ask that we go on a short break. Immediately after that short break, Mr. Obasoyu will want to take us on explaining, do we have a responsible government? We'll go on a short break and I'll be right back.
Concord Security Services provides impeccable security services to its diverse clients, from banking to telecoms, from international examination institutions to big restaurants. Our emphasis on the use of cutting-edge technology to provide solutions to prevalent security challenges gives us a competitive edge in the industry. Our array of services include man guarding, CCTV, perimeter fencing, full body scanners, metal detectors, VIP protection, escort services, due diligence, and event security. We offer extensive trainings to our security personnel to improve their physical fitness, mental alertness, and exceptional skills in managing complexity at our 2 training centers in Ed John School of Management and in Ilasa office. Engage our services today and let us give you peace of mind. Concord Security and Protocol Services Limited is located at 25 Abiyakuta Street off Beliat Bus Stop, Ilasamaja, Oshodi Apapa Expressway, Lagos. Telephone
0805 690 8568
or 0805 119 9931. Send a mail to info@concordsecurityng.com or visit our website at www.concordsecurityng.com.
Viewers, you are welcome back after that short break. We want to continue the discussion from here. And like I mentioned earlier before we went on break, is our government, do we have a responsible government? We have the immigration put in place to put check at our borders. And you see people coming in. Is it that there are people who are untouchable and are milking from this act? Maybe you want to respond, Mr. Obasoyu.
Yeah, thank you very much. One, the corruption might eat so deep into our system that those we call politicians are not doing things good to the masses. There is no good road. There is no good education. To the extent, even our borders are very poor because the immigrations are not doing their job. The security agents are not doing their job. The SS are not doing their job. The police officers that are not doing their job rest on corruption. If the governments place a good infrastructures on the road, on the country, make it possible that they have a good road, they have good water, they have a good electricity. As I don't believe such misunderstanding will come up if individual houses have a borehole or have a pump whereby they can have a good water to drink. I don't think such misunderstanding will come both of them. When each individual will have a water in their house, what will that make them to go and fight each other? Is it government really have to do a radical action that will make the people to believe in them? They are really good governors. One, corruption has taken place. Because of that, they don't have, because of the corruptions sink into their blood, they don't even care about the masses. They don't even care about the good roads. They don't even care about the passing out, graduate that is passing out. They do not even care about the industry we have in our country. How are they going to repair it? And this brings a lot of security threat to the country. And they will be thinking they are free. They are not free. Because when the masses are looking at them, and that is whereby come up with these NSTARs. If really government are doing their job, do you think the NSTARs will come up? It's not possible. Because of those corruptions, bad road, bad governance, I rest my case in that issue.
Thank you, Mr. Obasui. We will not stop talking. We'll keep talking until we see a change. A change is what we are calling for. Revolutionary change starts from talking. And that is what is propelling us. This program, The Anchor, is all about social justice, equity, and fairness being given out there in this land. That is why this program is being aired. To talk about social justice, to talk about fairness, to talk about the issue of equality and not discriminating and putting anyone down. Mr. Paul Edekobi, this brings me to say, if our borders are this porous, I want you to talk about, because I'm seeing an issue of extreme poverty. Because if things were well, for instance, our armed forces are well paid, we will not be in this position. Not just being well paid, that's an aspect of it. Do we even have the capacity? I think we're having a discussion just recently, and we're talking about just looking at the police force. If we have a responsible government, just looking at the police force, the man strength of the police force, is it commensurate with the total population?
Not at all.
Infusing the private sector that you and I belong to, even the private sector, in terms of numbers, outweighs times 3 or thereabout what the numbers of the government put in place in terms of staffing. And it still boils down to government. But I want you to talk about the issue of extreme poverty in the land.
Thank you very much. Talking of this extreme poverty, what we mean by extreme poverty, that's people that are living below the poverty line. That means somebody who, his expenses is not even up to $1. I'm talking of the American dollar. And if you change that into a naira, currently I think that's about 480 something naira. Are you getting it? There are some people that can't just afford that. Then tell me, in a situation like that, and a terrorist approaches a citizen and says, okay, come, I'll pay you 500,000. All you need to do is just take this bomb, walk into that mall and detonate. For that kind of person, I mean, it is like a lifetime opportunity.
Yes.
And he or she will, grab at it, even if they know that it is going to cost them their life, but at least they'll be, unquote, happy dying, seeing that the family they left behind is okay. Are you getting it? But that does not really, it doesn't speak well of our nation, because when you travel through the land, you find that there is a lot of extreme poverty on ground. It is extreme, not just poverty, but extreme. And this is very prevalent, especially in the north. I remember on a very good period when I was visiting the north, particular states very close to where our president comes from. Okay, we went to the restaurants to have a dinner for the evening. Unknown to me that there was how you must eat in that kind of place. Otherwise, you may end up losing your food. I didn't know that was what was happening. And what actually happened, there's these guys they call Amajiri. When they gave us our food, after eating a few handfuls, I kind of relaxed. Let the first few handfuls sink down before I continue. And before I know what was happening, both my pot of soup, my plate of soup, and my plate of pounded yam disappeared, and I was left with only the one on your hand. So it was a first experience to me. Then I was like, what is going on here? So my guide was like, bro, sorry, I forgot to tell you. That's how, if you are eating next time, just cover up because the time you relax, you are telling them that you are done eating, and that's why they came, to help you clear the table. Okay, fine. That's by the way. And these are teenagers. Some are still maybe within the 9-10 years age range. Now, are you telling me that if one approaches this set of people and say, okay, come, let me give you so amount of money, go and do this for me, are you telling me that they will not accept? They will. I mean, it is very easy to subvert people like that. Are we communicating? Because this is the extreme poverty we are talking about. Some people cannot even feed a day. They don't even know when the next meal is coming. Is it to clothe or is it shelter? No. If you go to most of our rural community, you find out that this is happening. Okay, not even only the rural community, even within our urban areas, you find out that if you notice, you see an influx of beggars coming in from different parts of the country. Like if you are going towards Ikorodu, very close to Ikorodu garage there, you see where they all line up begging. Are we communicating? And these people were transported from somewhere else. And that also goes double on those that are coming in from other countries into Nigeria, because they are experiencing extreme poverty that way. And they see Nigeria as a hopeful ground, where they can, get greener pastures and whatever. So they do all they can to try to, get into the country. So you find out that by the time somebody, if somebody is not godly enough and he's being hit by this kind of situation, the poverty situation, you find out that that person is vulnerable to influence, is vulnerable to subversion. He can do anything, can even be involved in crime. I believe that I remember also there was a situation like that once when a person in that kind of situation was called and said, okay, come, let me give you a job. All you need to do is just carry this little bag for me and take it down to Malaysia. And what was in the bag? The guy didn't care what was in the bag. The only thing that he was just after was the money he was going to receive for transporting that bag, which was about 1.5 million naira. Then, listen, I'm telling you, it's over 10 years ago. 1.5 million naira for somebody that's not even he has not even seen 10,000 naira cash. Are you getting it? So you find out that such kind of people, they will be easily influenced to commit crime. And the package that he was supposed to take to Malaysia, if you want to know, was drugs. It was actually a mixture of cocaine and some cocaine, some heroin. Are you getting it? So you find out that people like this are very vulnerable to crime, and they can easily be influenced to commit crimes. So that is why it is considered as one of the major causes of security challenges in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. We'll be rounding up shortly, but with this program, we want to call and plead with our government as stakeholders in this country. Every child is a stakeholder. Every youth is a stakeholder. Every man is a stakeholder. Every girl is a stakeholder. Every boy is a stakeholder. We all have a stake in this country. We want to use this platform to beg and plead with our government to do the needful. We are not asking too much. The Bible itself mentioned that we should pray for our land. We should pray for our leaders. And I believe every home, whether you are a Muslim, you're a Christian, or whichever religion you belong to, we are calling on God to intervene in this land. And God, in His infinite mercy, will believe is answering us. All what we are called saying is that our government should be responsible, to rise up and be responsible. The wisdom that is needed, the entire populace is praying for our leaders, that God should help them with wisdom. And it's for our government to apply this wisdom that God has given unto them, not to use it the other way around. I want to use again this platform to plead with our government to intervene. That is why we've elected our leaders. So on this note, we want to round up this episode of The Anchor, and we invite you to join us as we have another interesting topic next time on security. Thank you.